It's live on a Tuesday night. Coach Young here in his own goddamn house. Why? A bit of a house arrest, but that's unimportant. LifeWithJustin.com is somewhere you the fuck don't have to go tonight. No, your questions will not get answered by me tonight. I'm going to speak live to you directly from the heart. Most of the ladies out there know, and the ones that don't will eventually find out. Coach Young does not speak from the heart very often. And when he does, you need to sit back, open your goddamn ears, and listen. This week, this last Sunday, for that matter, we lost to the Sawyer Pilots. Not true. We did not lose to the Sawyer Pilots. We lost to Chris Johnson. I believe that is because we lost focus. No, I believe I lost focus. While watching the game film, I had invited Coach Poole's wife over to my house. One thing led to another. By the time those game films were over, she had been tongue-washing my balls. And as you all know, when a woman tongue-washes your balls, you don't pay attention to what's on the fucking TV. But, I digress. This week, we are refocused, which is good about a loss. You will refocus. And our mission statement this year, as I stated, week 1, was to crush the gold division. And this week, we have that opportunity once again against the DZ for Fag Sheezies. Those urban ball players with that wannabe rapper coach. That company called the DSLs. The bearded name? DZ Sports Limited. The actual name? The Dick Sucking Lips. You heard me, fucker. The Dick Sucking Lips. You all know that the DZs and myself have history. You all know that Coach C. DZ hates my guts. You all know that I hate his guts. I can't stand that little faggot fuck. We all know this, but that's okay. He tried to get himself to come out of the closet a couple times. It didn't happen. We all know he went to Canada and got married to a dude, but that's not here nor there. That man has done some awful things. Over the years in the FFF, he has shanked my players. He has broke their legs. He has buried a dead body with me. That part doesn't matter. The point is, he's a wannabe thug. It's probably why he thinks he can rap. In fact, hold on. I'm going to have you listen to something. You ready? I'm sorry about this.
Party, word life, one loss, and I said I wasn't taking none. I should have known that you would have been the one starting down and celebrating.
Oh, shit.
They won the title, they won Nate, but I ain't hating just because we got robbed. I'm like,
sorry, I'm going to stop that before I fall the rest of the way to fucking sleep. Look, there's more computer generated in his voice than Tila Tequila or Paris Hilton. Look, he's a fake. He's a phony. If I didn't prove that last week by that fake gold shit he got rubbed around his neck and around his hands, I don't know how to prove it to you. He's no Michael Vick. That's for goddamn sure as well. He's a fake thug. Look, I'll tell you what. Right now, he's in his house writing a little script up. This script is going to say something disparaging about me. Why? Because what he says out of his mouth isn't real. The realest thing that ever came out of his mouth was my cock. But that was in college, and I was in a glory hole. That was a mistake. We're not here to talk about that. I'm just trying to say we don't like each other. And for some reason, the FFF's commissioner, year after year, decides that it's perfectly okay for him and Coach Poole to injure players on purpose. We all know that this is a mistake, but that's okay. We are going to, in a few short days, come Monday, make the DZs remember 2007, the last time our franchise has actually been able to beat them. This isn't Michigan versus Michigan State. This is the ex-cons versus the DZ for Fag Sheezies. So I guess it's a lot similar. U of M being gay, Michigan State being full of thugs. So maybe, just maybe, it's kind of similar. But I digress. The DSLs hired some moron to shoot a documentary about DZ. They called it Forever DZs. What a bunch of shit. In there, they stated that they couldn't get the game films from his old matches from the WWF when he was wrestling under CDZ. We all know that's a lie. We all know that because a good chunk of us were there at the WWF. I had a good friend named Coach Crashnet. Back then, named just Crashnet. He used to wrestle CDZ there. Broke his leg 3 times when he went for the drive-by. You figured he would have learned at least once to stop doing the drive-by. In fact, Crashnet stole the drive-by from CDZ and performed it better. We all know this. This is exactly what the WWF doesn't want to remember. They don't want to remember that they even hired CDZ. That's why they didn't release the film. Not because they don't know what happened to it. It's because they never liked him. They cost him so much money in insurance. They had way too many problems with him. Whether it was the coke, whether it was the gay sex, whether it was the pills. Either way, that's exactly why they kicked him out. DZ knows this. He kept it quiet. We also know that the so-called last match that CDZ had with Mr. Excitement, that it was ended in a draw after 30 minutes. That is what happened. But what they forget to remind everybody is that Mr. Excitement left that match because he saw the visual arousal of CDZ. Now, granted, it was very hard to see for the actual short staff that man has. But the point is, Mr. Excitement couldn't handle it, and he walked off. That's the only reason that was a draw. Mr. Excitement had beat that man's ass down. I'd like to go back to something I alluded to earlier about Coach DZ being a fraud. He's not a real coach. He's not a real rapper. He was never even a real WWF star. We all know this. He pretends this thing that he thinks he does is real. It's not true. The only thing real here is me. A few weeks back, he wanted to call me out, say I was married. We all know that's not true. See that hand? No ring. See this hand? There's a ring, but it's the pimp hand. You can't have a wedding ring on a pimp hand. So, might be the other reason I'm not taking questions this evening as well. I'd like to recap some things I find important. I will be crushing the Gold Division, starting again this week, like we did the Swamp Balls. This time, not by 50 points, but only by 27. I say that because the DZs are a better team than the Swamp Balls, but they still suck worse than Coach Ingalls' ex-wife. We're going to end this on a friendly note. Next week, after we beat the DZs on Monday, we will go back to live questions. Until then, fuck each and every